what they're seeing and what they're being filled with, right? Because again, they're subject to search engines. They hear things at school, then they go home, they search it on their phone, they search it in their room, and now they're wide open to this world that they don't need to be a part of because their brains haven't fully formed yet. They're still little.
In this next clip, Piers Morgan brings on Andrew Wilson, and he demolishes a woke soy boy leftist and exposes why porn in school and on smartphones is not just morally wrong, but really bad for the mental development of children. So let's get into this clip of Andrew Wilson completely destroying this perverted leftist lunatic.
My son's almost 12, right? I got to be very careful of what he puts in his mind. And social media, and for the things that we are doing as adults, yeah, it's pouring into our household and we're doing well with it. But for an adolescent, like these young kids, I'm seeing kids at dinners when we're at restaurant surfing TikTok while their parents are not even paying attention to what they're doing. Like that right there is a massive problem. And if we don't, as a society, get a hold of that, then this will never end. There will be more series like Adolescence that hit even harder because we're witnessing it in our own lives.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew, you seem to be in agreement with some of that.
Yeah, it's poison. There's no doubt. It re-scrambles children's brains, and it's very difficult to monitor. Even if you have parental controls, they can find ways around it. At school, they have peers who will assist them in getting around it. You have to monitor it really well. Smartphone technology for my own kids, it was kind of new. I wish that I, in retrospect, had done more guarding against that myself. You don't know the dangers of that technology until children get a hold of it, and then you're left scrambling going, oh man, I wish I had known that this was going on or that was going on, but you have no idea. Now, though, we have a little bit of retrospect, and we know that it's an appropriate thing to do to guide against this type of technology.
You know it's bad when preteens learn more from TikTok than they do from school. And apparently it's totally normal. No, it's not normal. It's digital child abuse. Imagine having to filter hardcore internet filth from your kid's phone while they're still in elementary school. That's the reality parents are living in, and we're just supposed to accept that. Kids scrolling TikTok during dinner while mom and dad scroll Instagram. This is modern parenting, and people wonder why they have picked your favorite drag queen hour in public schools. It's poison. Yeah, digital crack cocaine. Only one difference. Crack dealers had more shame than some of these app developers.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. It does create all sorts of problems for kids. I'm not sure that gets to the heart of the masculinity and feminine issue, but I totally agree with him that we should be safeguarding our children against this technology. It does seem to be very bad for them.
And James, there is pretty well unfettered pornography on the internet available to young men and women, obviously, but men are watching a lot of often quite violent, degrading sexual scenes in these porn clips they're seeing online. None of that can help in the way an impressionable young male mind goes about trying to forge a real relationship with an actual woman.
Well, I think it's important.
Here's a question. Why is it so easy for a 12-year-old to find violent, degrading porn on their smartphones, but so hard to find a decent education and food in school?
To say young male mind is any person's mind, right? Like, I don't think we should victimize men. I can't believe Andrew's agreeing with me. But yeah, it's awful. I mean, I genuinely don't think people should have phones until they're 16. They certainly shouldn't have social
Well, Australia's done that, and I'm not against it. The smartphone ban till 16.
I mean, it's terrifying.
Why not?
You can't go on air, on TV, and say whatever you want. Like, I know you're pretending that you're uncensored, but you couldn't sit here and say literally whatever you want.
Yes, you can.
Well, not really, Piers, because if you said something that incited hatred or racism or a terror attack,
I wouldn't want to
you
say
would be arrested.
I wouldn't
but online,
why would I want to incite
I'm
a
not
terror
saying
attack?
that you want to. I'm just trying to.
It's crazy. This guy could agree on children not having a phone until they're 16, but say that puberty blockers are bad for children, and you'll get labeled a bigot. It's insane.
To make a point online,
you're saying I can't say what I want.
Online,
I do not want to incite a terror attack.
No, but if you did,
I'm allowed. Just you're raising an interesting point about censorship.
Yeah,
we're uncensored because I don't say anything I don't want to say.
Right.
So when you say I'm censoring, I'm actually self-censoring. I'm not. I'm not going to call
You're
for a
literally
terror
censoring me.
attack.
I'm not saying that you would ever do that, of course, but I'm saying that if you did, there would be accountability for that because you are broadcasting to a lot of people.
Right.
But a lot of people online do not have that gate stopping them from saying horrendous things. And so therefore it can blow up online, excuse the horrible pun, and that shouldn't be allowed. There should be a system in place that stops people broadcasting things that aren't meant to be broadcast to millions of people.
One of the problems, Tommy,
Here we go. These people want to ban speech they don't like while shoving books about sexual fetishes into elementary school libraries. That's not freedom, that's grooming. Broadcasting terrorist threats, bad. Broadcasting porn to kids, good. Diverse representation. If that doesn't tell you everything about the left's moral compass, nothing will.
Toby Young, who's a British journalist, director of Free Speech Union, very, very big in promoting and defending free speech, says Adolescence, the new teen drama, is pro-censorship propaganda, partly paid for by the state. It is now being seized upon by Labour left-wing MPs as evidence we need more online censorship. And that is, of course, you talk about a swinging pendulum. What you don't want to come out of all this is an overreaction and an over-censorship, because that in itself becomes a problem.
Yeah, 100%. And I agree with Sean on this point too. I think parenting has more to do with this than any of us really, can even understand. I mean, many, I'm sure, in this panel can, but parenting is, to me, the end-all be-all of all of this. I mean, you can watch horrible things online, you can listen to people say horrible things, but if you've got a good foundation with good parents at home, hopefully two, that provides you with a lot of guidance and support to navigate these things. And it doesn't really, scramble your mind in the way that those that are not blessed with a two-parent household may be impacted by it. I don't believe that censorship is ever the answer. I believe that more speech is the answer to speech that you don't like. And as much as I don't like certain people online and what they say, whether they're the Tate brothers or whoever else, I believe that they should have the right and the ability to say it. And then people like us should have the right and ability to respond to it. I think that's the healthiest way to come to a great consensus, or at least a public square where we can all debate ideas with dialogue and conversation. But I don't think that censorship is ever the answer. And I think that, our leaders in America have done a great job of emphasizing that, especially to the European countries who believe censorship is the way to cleanse or the way to legislate morality. I just don't think that's the way to do it.
Well, the instinctive...
More speech is better, sure, in theory. But if we're letting rumors and porn pushes dominate the airwaves, it's not speech, it's psychological warfare. The UK has been censoring books and ideas for years, and now they're shocked. The population is brainwashed. Welcome to the consequences of government babysitting.
Action, certainly in the UK, for a long time now, many years, has been to censor and to ban and prohibit and so on. And I think people are beginning to wake up to the downside of that, is that once you chip away at things like freedom of speech, freedom of expression, you're heading down a pretty slippery road, which can be dictated by your government. And then that's not a place.
It's interesting though, isn't it? I mean, I just want to make a side point, and I don't need to get into it, but your government are banning books. So they are literally talking about free speech whilst also banning free speech that they don't agree with. So what you're saying is nice, and I agree with you in principle,
from
but that's not literally what is happening.
It's not the same as banning books.
You talked about freedom of speech, right? And everyone coming together and having a discussion about it. But that's not what's happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we're
Putting
talking
graphic
about in the
gay
home,
porn
not in
into
school.
children's libraries is a little different.
I mean, no
James.
one should be putting porn into a children's library. I think we all agree on that.
Then why are you complaining?
Here's the bottom line. Kids deserve innocence, not smartphones filled with filth, not classroom lectures on gender identity, and definitely not library books that read like adult websites. We're not going to sit by while the left poisons the next generation. If you agree, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below, because we are the firewall between our kids and this insanity.